Hello, this is Not Spring Chick. So, the internet's up in a roar over, what is it this time? American Idol, Dancing with the Stars. So did we really think it was real? You know, reality TV? Or is it an entertainment show? Anyway, whether you think it's real or entertainment, think of the WWF. And join us for the rest with Oldecam. Okay, so let's come back to reality. Did you know that most reality TV shows actually require more writing than actual TV shows?
That's why they get an Emmy nomination now for Best Written Series.
So okay, Oldecam. Join us with comments on the headlines of today now. Afghans to take over Kabul security despite attack, a UN envoy.
Well, because they know that the Democrats are going to pull them out of Afghanistan just like they're going to Iraq.
3 tornadoes ripped through Virginia, hundreds of people hurt.
Well, that is Tornado Alley.
Wisconsin parents who prayed as diabetic daughter died, charged.
Well, the problem is there is a fine line between what is religious freedom and what is best for the child, and the Supreme Court's going to have to make that decision someday.
GM to lay off 3,550 at 4 pickup truck and SUV factories.
You know, yesterday we saw a Yukon that was half the size of the Yukon that they had out at the LA Auto Show last year. So you're getting the idea. They're getting the idea.
Spitzer call girl sues Girls Gone Wild for $10 million.
Well, it seems that she's upset about the fact they're making money off of a video she made, because now she admits she forged a birth certificate and her date of birth.
So now she's suing them?
Yeah, which means she's admitted she's a criminal.
She's a criminal already then.
That's right.
AP poll, Clinton leads McCain by 9 points.
Which is hard to believe, considering just a couple of days ago that, you know, that McCain was leading her by about 7 or 8 points. But the polls can be manipulated, unfortunately.
Austrian kids locked in basement, never saw sunlight.
I mean, how do you keep somebody locked up for a quarter of a century and nobody know about it?
Good question. 31 of 53 teen girls at FLDS Ranch are pregnant or had a baby.
Since they had a suspicion that something was going on at that facility, why didn't somebody do something years ago instead of waiting?
Pennsylvania man charged with pushing friend into coal mine.
Yeah, not much of a friend, is it?
New York Cardinal criticizes Giuliani for taking communion.
But he doesn't criticize the Democrats in the same manner.
Supreme Court says states can demand photo ID for voting.
Well, you know, that's a gimme. I mean, why should you have to have an ID to buy cigarettes today? Why not have an ID to go vote?
Or even buy paint.
That's right.
Sometimes.
You can't buy virtually anything. You can't go anywhere. I mean, you got to show an ID to go into movies.
You do?
Well, if you want to be a senior citizen discount, you got to show them your ID to prove you're over 65.
Mars buying gun maker Wrigley with financing from Buffett.
Yeah, I mean, that this consolidates something else that's going to raise the prices on everything.
Exercise heart study casts doubt on fit but fat theory.
Well, yeah, the people that are overweight are dropping like flies. So, I mean, the people that wrote that you can be overweight are the same people that says it's politically incorrect to say that they're overweight.
Iran takes new shot at Barbie, calling U.S. doll destructive.
Well, yeah, because she shows that girls can be hot and sexy, and in Iran they don't like that.
Vietnam to halt American adoptions after damning U.S. report.
Well, yeah, the problem is on their end, not our end. I mean, they had baby factories and stealing babies and everything you'd think of.
Wright says criticism is attack on black church.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Wright is taking advantage of the situation to make himself the new black leader in this country.
I wonder what Jesse Jackson has to say about that one.
Well, he's already said he would never say anything like Mr. Wright said in his church.
U.S. groups in China call for freer trade.
Yeah, like, that's not going to happen with the Democrats in charge. They want less free trade.
White House undermines EPA on cancer risk, GAO says.
Well, unfortunately, it's been done so they can have another hearing instead of getting something done.
Fed sued for taking gray wolves off endangered list.
Well, because they're killing wolves, you know, at a record rate, which means they'll be back on the endangered list any day now.
Warner Brothers pushes shows online with 2 new websites.
Well, I mean, they're still trying to figure out how to make money off of the internet. The WB died, became the CW. The CW has lost 27% of its core audience. So Warner's is now trying to see if they can get people to watch it on the internet.
Microsoft, Yahoo aren't talking as investors await next move.
Well, because Microsoft is not going to raise its price for a diluted company.
SEC charges of stock option abuse loom for former Pixar CFO.
Yeah, Disney has another problem.
FDA seeks more information from Merck for cholesterol drug.
Basically, they give it a letter of disapproval because they actually are doing what they should be doing.
Study says FDA allowed risky tests of blood substitutes.
That's when they weren't doing what they should be doing.
Miley Cyrus's photo scandals reveal phenoms of growing pains.
Well, basically, she knows that Disney is making like $1 billion off of her. She's making $17 million, and she's not stupid.
Delta raises domestic fares around $10 to $40 per round trip.
And it's going to go higher.
Report: Clemens had a relationship with Mindy McCready.
Yeah, 15 years old when he was bopping or something. I mean, that's the man is not exactly the most family type guy, as he's been telling everybody.
Lawmaker threatens subpoenas for AIDS.
Yeah, well, basically they need to have another hearing.
The Democratic Party has begun its first sustained advertising campaign against Senator John McCain.
Yeah, that he's not fit to be president.
As Clinton seeks gas tax break for summer, Obama says no.
Obama says it's not going to make any difference, so instead of dropping the taxes, let's raise taxes.
Oh,
Because
boy.
He wants to get people out of automobiles and into public transportation or walking. So you do that by raising taxes.
Sometimes they forget some people don't really have much of a public transportation
They don't
system.
care. That's the whole trick. They don't care.
7% of Americans say they or someone in their household decided to tie the knot in the last year so they could receive health care benefits.
That's ridiculous there.
Oh, that's what they were talking about it on Brothers and Sisters the other day.
Yeah, getting married just so you can get health care. I mean, first of all, you're going to spend more money to be married than it is going to cost you for whatever's wrong with you.
UN Security General Ban Ki-moon is due to announce details of new measures to tackle the global food crisis.
The first thing he did was blame the United States and ethanol and said it's a crime against humanity. And he wants to basically force the United States to stop producing ethanol.
Oh, really?
That's right.
Well, I hear that, what else is next? Corn, wheat.
All the grain products are going to be either turned into ethanol or they're going to break the ground for ethanol. They said this morning that only 4% of our grain is going to ethanol, which is called BNS.
Hillary Rodham Clinton or Barack Obama will know when it's time to drop out of the nomination race after the end of the primaries in early June.
That's what Dean says. He said Hillary is not going to drop out. She's going to fight right to the end.
A Monty Bubbleism from the Mark Twain of the Animal Kingdom.
Well, if you're going to do something stupid, don't